Okay, I want to say this first. Thank you to everyone who pays attention and have genuine questions about uh, some things that I may post. I posted the other day about the doom and gloom, and I got a lot of questions about that. So I'm going to try to explain a little bit of it. Um, Thank you, really, from the bottom of my heart, because I love imparting knowledge. And if it's an answer I can't get or I don't have, I'm going to find the person that has it and get you the best information I can. But anyway, uh, some of the backstory to what I meant. Um, for almost all of human history, we have known a monarchical form of government. And by monarchical, I mean ruled by a monarch, a king or a queen or a dictator. And for the bulk of human history, that is what mankind has known. And in America, we are used to saying, first thing we'll say is, I know my rights. I can vote whoever out. Well, the old world's oldest continuous democracy or democratic republic, like we know it, is the United States, and we're coming upon 250 years. That's relatively young compared to the centuries and millennia of having a mental psyche of being ruled by kings and queens and dictators. All right. So when you think of a monarch, if you paid attention in history class, somebody like King Louis the 14th comes to mind. He was the king of France, and he ruled for like 70 something years. But King Louis the 14th once said in French, it was l'état c'est moi, which meant I am the state. And everything that he did, everything that occurred in France, occurred on his whim. And there was royalty and nobility, and then everybody else, the masses. So it was a few people at the top and then everybody at the bottom. And so now, the world as we know it, when you look at a map and you see how the world is divided up and carved up, well, that's a direct result of monarchies. A long time ago, the countries, the rulers of the European powers decided we're going to carve up the world. And Portugal, you get this. France, you get this. Spain, you get that. England, you get this. And that's how basically the world as we know it now, that's how it was carved up. You get these countries and stuff. And so around the end of the 20th century was really when the monarchies started to fall and be replaced by somewhat democratic governments. So for a long time, people had no say in how they would be governed. And I want you to think about it like this. If you're from Greenville, Greenville now, everybody, you can go vote and you get your city council rep or you get your mayor or whatever. But there are people in the world who say, I believe, very powerful people who say, we believe the world needs to go back to a ruler like, everybody gets a ruler like Louis the 14th. And that ruler is l'état c'est moi. He is the be all, the end all. Everything occurs on his or her whim. So think about the city of Greenville. And it's carved, somebody says, well, let's carve it up. In the south end, you got Dale River is the capital. The north end, let's say, whatever, Orange Street or whatever is the capital. And the city is divided up, each with its own ruler. That is what numerous powerful people, and it's also in Project 2025, believe should occur, and it's occurring right now. So everyone's making jokes on Christy Nome and the Shield of the Americas. I wouldn't be laughing. They are putting into place that idea right now. So America would be in control of Latin America, Mexico, all that would fall in America's sphere. Then Russia would control Ukraine and the Balkans and all of that. China would control Taiwan, and the world would be carved up again with its own Louis the 14th. Now, the thing about that is, when you had these monarchies, each monarch, as I said, every single thing occurred on their whim. And so thinking about Louis XIV, Louis XIV told his 5-year-old grandson when he was lay dying in Versailles that I have loved war too much. They would go to war with each other and just war and bankrupt their country's treasuries. And they would build these gigantic palaces, like Louis XIV built the Palace of Versailles and bankrupted the treasury. And they used it like their own personal piggy bank. The same thing in Russia, the winter palaces, the czars. There are people that says, that was better. We need to go back to that. And they are actively implementing this. And so for everyday people like me and you, well, we had to eke out a little garden and starving and no food, no healthcare, none of that. And there are people who control billions and the government and everything who says, well, that was better then when we had nobility and kings and queens, and we need to go back to that. So historians right now, their hair is on fire. Experts, the hair's on fire because they are literally seeing this occurring and like no one's paying attention. It's a lot going on and very few people are paying attention. So when you see this stuff about Shield of the Americas and stuff, that's what that is. And the outcome of like before the monarchies failed, it was very, very grim. People dying of starvation and stuff like that. It's a gloomy outlook. And they are actively enacting this stuff. So I know this was kind of long, but I wanted to paint a general idea. People keep asking, well, what do you mean? What is going to be so bad about? That's it. They're doing it now. And you have to pay attention. And this stuff is not secret. They wrote it down. It's in Project 2025. People are out talking about it. That this is the idea. We should go back to spheres of influence and a rule by one person or whatever. They truly believe in this. So yeah, ask me and I'll tell you. I'll let you know the best that I can. Thank y'all. I love y'all.